and welcome to Tech to Tech presented by KYZEN, where we will explore common cleaning questions and answers. Let's get started. I would like to introduce KYZEN's own Stephen Griffith.
Thanks, William. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today for today's Tech to Tech. Today, we're talking about ferociously cleaning ferrous metals. Just a quick review. What are ferrous metals? Well, they're metals that contain iron. Lots of times they're known for their magnetic properties and used in all types of construction and manufacturing. Some of the common types, cast iron or carbon steel or alloy steel, think stainless steel in that situation. Let's look at the differences in iron and stainless steel. Iron has minimal carbon content, where stainless steel is an alloy of iron and carbon and that has a minimum of 10.5% chromium in it. The chromium makes it highly resistant to rust and corrosion. Stainless is typically stronger and more durable than iron by itself, and there's minimal maintenance needed to prevent corrosion or rust in stainless steel, where you have to maintain iron to prevent the degradation of the metal. Cleaning applications for ferrous metals, where do we see cleaning inside of facilities? Well, basically any industrial manufactured part is going to go through some sort of cleaning process at some point in time. The automotive industry washes most every part and piece into a car prior to assembly. And then the construction industry, they're washing some of the metals and frameworks that they use to, increase the longevity of the parts and pieces that they're using in construction. So why is it important to clean? Well, with ferrous metals specifically, you want to prevent corrosion. You want to remove the contaminants that lead to the rust and deterioration of those parts and pieces. This is going to extend your lifespan, and it's going to also enhance the performance and keep your parts and pieces looking good. Some of the effective cleaning methods that we see in the field for cleaning ferrous metals, belt fed washers, dip tank processes. Becoming increasingly more popular is vacuum degreasing applications. And some of the most common is just your typical cabinet style spray and washers. This is a diagram of your typical belt fed process for water-based processes. You can see the flow. You put your parts and pieces on the belt, and it goes through tank 1, which is where your wash process begins, and your alkaline cleaner is inside of that tank, spraying in on your parts. The second part is your rinse process, where your parts are rinsed off with water. Typically, this is where your rust preventative or corrosion protection is also applied. And then it goes into the third part of the process, which is your drying process. This is a typical diagram of a vacuum degreasing system. Obviously, it will vary by the brand that you buy, but they basically all work the same. Having tanks with progressively cleaner solvent throughout the wash portion of the inside the chamber. Tank 1 is dirtier than tank 2 and tank 3 being your clean, pure solvent. And portion of the process will get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner as you wash your parts. This process is typically used in very precision style cleaning. Think of parts with small blind holes or tubes that need the inside of the part washed and cleaned as well. So you need to pull a vacuum to pull the solvent inside those parts and get the inside of it extremely clean. So how long are your parts protected, and how long do you need them protected for? Well, that's determined on your process and your needs. And how do we go about doing this? Well, the best way to do it is to set your parts on the shelf and let it see how long you have until you have rust or corrosion come in. But to speed that process up, here at KYZEN, we have a humidity chamber that we place the parts in. It's set at 90 degrees and 90% humidity, and 1 day in the chamber is equal to 9 days on the shelf. So if you get 10 days in the chamber in those conditions, then you're going to know that your part is going to be at least protected for 90 days on the shelf. In summary, what are the three things that we talked about that are most important? Number one is identifying the best wash process for what you're manufacturing. Is a belt-fed washer or a cabinet spray washer fine, or do you need something a little bit more precision with a vacuum degreaser? Number two, you got to identify the correct chemistry for all of the contaminants that you need cleaned. And then number three, how long do you need, or how much protection do you need to prevent the rust and corrosion on your parts to ensure the longevity of the parts? Some frequently asked questions to end this thing. What are the main contaminants that need to be removed from ferrous metals? Well, depends on your process largely, but this could include, oils or grease, dirt, dust, rust, oxidation that's already built up on the ferrous metals. You want to clean these impurities and that are going to interfere with your subsequent process, like, painting or welding or plating. How do I choose between a water-based or a solvent-based cleaning method? Well, that again is going to depend on factors such as your contaminants that you're trying to clean. Why are we cleaning the ferrous metals? Are we going into plating? Are we going into a subsequent process? How clean does it need to be? Then you got to look at your environmental regulations, your cost considerations. Vapor degreasing, vacuum degreasing is much more expensive than most water-based dip tanks. And then in the end, the last question is, can cleaning process affect the properties of ferrous metals? Well, the answer to that is yes. Improper cleaning methods can alter the surface properties of ferrous metals and introduce different things such as micro cracks or affect the surface for your secondary process. And with that, I'll give it back to William.
Thanks, Stephen. Thank you guys for watching this Tech to Tech session. If you would like to discuss this topic further or have any questions not answered in the session, please contact your local KYZEN regional manager or send an email to tech@kyzen.com, and we will have someone follow up with you as soon as possible. And if you like this video, be sure to follow us on our social media platforms for more expert cleaning content.